You guys don't want to miss planting in February in Zone 8. It's one of the most busy planting months for this gardening zone. And today I'm going to talk to y'all about what we're planting and where we're planting it. Because if you don't notice behind me, we do have a greenhouse. So I'm going to be talking about what we're planting in the greenhouse, what we're starting in seed trays, and what we're starting directly outside. So this video is for you if you are in Zone 8. I am in Zone 8B, Texas. So this should apply mostly to everyone in Zone 8. It'll also apply to you if your last frost date is around mid-March, give or take. Our last frost date's around mid-March. I don't really consider our last frost here until beginning of April because we normally get another light frost after that. So February is the month for cool season and early starters. And if these categories fit all of you, you guys can plant way more than what you think you can right now. I know the cold weather normally has everyone feeling like that you can't plant a lot right now, but that is not true. You can actually get quite a lot in the ground and give yourself a really good head start for spring. And all of this information does come from me being a former certified Texas Master Gardener, so you guys know that you're getting some good info here. So let me talk about some of the things that we're planting, why, and how we're starting them. So first things up is moringa. I just put this in a seed tray in the greenhouse a couple of days ago, so it has not come up yet, but this is something that I am starting inside the greenhouse by seed in a seed tray. It is definitely too cold for you to put this directly outside right now, but if you guys are hoping to have some moringa this year in Zone 8, you can start it in seed trays. If you do want it to survive the winter here, just keep in mind that if you decide you want the tree to be a perennial, that you're going to need some sort of winter protection for it once it's really big. So if you guys want to do some research on moringa, I actually highly recommend planting it. It also is known as the miracle tree. It's not a very commonly planted plant, I would say, especially in home gardens, but definitely something I recommend looking into. Don't worry, I am also going to cover the normal plants here as well. Next up, which I have right here to show you, is onions, specifically onion sets. So if you did not start your onions by seed in fall, there's no worries. I never start my onions by seeds, y'all, because where I am, I can get onion sets fairly cheap, and it means that I don't have to start them until now. So I normally start my onions in January, February, depending on the weather. I decided to wait until February. We had some very heavy ice storms and stuff going on that we don't normally get here in January, so I did not want to start them that soon. You normally will know when the proper time to plant onion sets are in your area when local nurseries and stuff start selling them. Not big box stores, but like local nurseries, feed stores, things like that. When they start selling onion sets, that's normally when you want to start planting them. I'm going to do a whole video for y'all on how exactly to plant these to get huge onions, because I feel like a lot of people make the mistake of planting them wrongly. If you deal with a lot of small onion bulbs, we're going to be covering all the big mistakes that people make when you guys are first planting your onions that cause them to be small. So make sure you guys are subscribed and stay tuned for that. Personally, if you guys are wondering, I plant the Texas Super Sweet 1015. I do it every year. Absolutely love it. My favorite variety of onion ever to plant here in Texas. But depending on where you are and what exactly your climate looks like, this might not be the best variety for you. So make sure that you're doing your research before you go out there and grab a bunch of onion sets. If you're new to gardening or you're a beginner gardener, onions is one that I would recommend because I feel that they are quite easy if you do them right. We do grow all of our onions for the entire year this way. Next up, let's talk about some cold weather crops going in. This is stuff that you guys can put directly outside if you want to. I will put some of it inside the greenhouse just to make sure that I have some protection, I guess, on some of them. But but this stuff you can put directly outside right now. It should be okay without a problem. So I'm going to list some categories for you guys. If the plant fits into this category, then you can most likely put it outside. I'll give you guys a couple of examples. First up is leafy greens. These will be things like collards, mustard, Swiss chard. I have Swiss chard going right now. I have some actually started in that seed tray, and I do have some in that black bed back there. I could also put some directly outside right now, but I am just trying to get my outdoor area ready. So I'll probably end up doing that soon. Next up is root crops. This is a fun one. So this is things like beets, radishes, carrots, turnips. It is time to put carrots in the ground. I like to plant carrots with my onions. They are good companion plants. Just keep that in mind. So if you guys are going to do onions and carrots, consider planting them together. And also anything that's frost tolerant. So this is going to be things that can survive a light frost. Anything that can handle multiple light frosts and maybe one night of heavy frost. So there are quite a lot of plants out there that can do this. Peas, for example, sugar snap peas, one of my personal favorites to grow. If you guys don't get this in the ground soon, you're not going to get a decent harvest, especially if you're in Texas, because once any kind of heat sets in here in Texas, peas are just they're gonna go out. Also, keep in mind, guys, consider succession planting with some of these crops so that you can make sure that you're getting multiple harvests. Because like I said, once the heat sets in Texas, these things are all done. All right, next time I'm going to talk about what we're starting indoors, or for us inside of our greenhouse. I'm actually going to try and leave as much out of the house as possible now that we have the greenhouse. That'll make things a lot easier. So some things that I am going to start indoors, or if I haven't already started it indoors, tomatoes and peppers. This is going to give them a nice little head start before summer, because we want to make sure that these plants are fully established before the summer heat hits in if we can, because once we get into the triple digits here in Texas, tomatoes and peppers are not going to want to flower and fruit anymore. So we want to make sure that we get a nice little harvest off of them before that happens. You can also start things like eggplant if you want to. Someone was asking me about okra the other day. Personally, I just start okra directly outside. If you wanted to, you could also start that indoors now as well too. Things that I am not starting indoors when it comes to warm season crops are things like cucumbers, because they're very sensitive to transplanting. I just like to sow them directly outside. Same with squash. I'm going to do the exact same thing with that. And also things like beans. I feel like beans are just a fast growing crop anyway and don't really need to be started inside of a container. Those things you definitely don't want to put outside yet. You want to wait definitely until after that last frost date, because even if it feels warm like it does now in Texas, we are still bound to get more frost. So you definitely don't want to put these things outside because they're not going to make it. So some things that I am doing in February, I did talk about how I'm still working on my outside area and getting it ready. And that's because I'm working on prepping beds, adding compost. I need to check all of my solar irrigation that I have right now, because I need to set it up, make sure that there's no holes or anything, pulling any winter weeds that we may have, planning the layout, and making sure also that we have all of the seeds that we need. So February is a lot of planting, but it is also a lot of just like preparation work as well. So let me know down below in the comments what zone and state you're in and what you're planting right now. Even if you're not anywhere near our zone and state, this may help somebody else who is watching this video right now. Like if you're in zone 3 or if you're in zone 5, for example, you can drop that down below and that may help someone else who clicked on this video that is also in like zone 5. But this is definitely going to help set you up for success for the rest of the year. I highly recommend, especially if you're in zone 8, not to skip this month and to start working on your garden as soon as possible, because by setting yourself up early like this, you're setting yourself up for a good year. Thanks y'all for watching this video. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, don't forget to click that subscribe button.